there, it's Laura at the Seniors Coordinating Society. We're here with Dr. Janz to continue our talk about dementia. Could you review your credentials for us?
I'm a family doctor here in Nelson who's done care of very frail seniors in the last couple of years of their life for the last 30 years. And I'm the medical director for long-term care, palliative care, and end-of-life, and medical assistance in dying for interior health here in the Kootenays.
Wow. And the last time that you and I chatted, we were talking about the early signs of dementia and the different kinds of dementia. And this time we're going to talk about treatment, prevention, and also being a caregiver for someone with suffering from dementia. So I guess we should ask, is there a way to prevent dementia?
The good news is yes, absolutely. When we have healthy blood vessels, our likelihood of getting dementia or the rate of progression of our dementia is going to be slower. That means managing our blood pressure well, if we've got diabetes, managing our sugars well, maintaining an ideal weight, eating a healthy diet, staying away from smoking and alcohol and sleeping pills and tranquilizer medications. All of those things can interfere with your ability to think. Eating a healthy diet, lots of fruit and vegetables, staying away from too much saturated fats, exercising lots. When we have healthy blood vessels and a healthy heart, our quality of life is better, we sleep better, and it slows the onset of dementia. Yeah. So maintaining lots of mental activity, having a rich and fulfilling life, doing lots of things, learning new things, even in late life, is a good way to keep your brain active.
So getting oxygen to the brain is really a good way to stave off the signs of that.
Living a rich and fulfilling life, having a rich emotional life, a rich mental and social life, all of those are good things. And they improve our quality of life and our sleep and our bowels. We win. Right. This is all good.
Oh yeah. If you were to develop it, is there a treatment?
I wish there was something that prevented or cured dementia. We may be there someday, we're not there yet. One of the things we can do, though, is we've got lots of treatments and strategies that we can use to manage many of the symptoms of dementia. For many people with dementia, there's a sleep disorder involved. They have day-night reversal where they're up all night long and then sleeping in the day. We've got symptoms, we've got medications that can manage that. There are often mood changes with dementia, depression, anxiety, suspiciousness, fearfulness. All of these can be very troubling, and we absolutely have medications and strategies to help with that. Behavioral challenges can come. We've got medications that can support the patient with dementia and their loved ones, their caregivers, to make their quality of life better for all of these things. So yes, there's lots that we can do.
So the quality of life is key. We don't want anyone to be drugged, you know, out of their minds to just have a great old time, but at the same time, you said there were side effects to certain drugs, so I guess it's about finding the balance between those.
We're constantly looking for the sweet spot. We're looking to give you the best possible quality of life with the fewest side effects and the best overall function.
Right.
Yeah. And
so a lot of the times when I'm here, people will come in and say, I'm looking after a loved one who has developed Alzheimer's or some other form of dementia, and they sometimes are at their wits' end. They're very frustrated, they don't know where to turn, and you know, being a caregiver is super frustrating and very challenging, and I wondered if you could talk a little bit about that, about, you know, making sure to care for yourself.
Being a caregiver for somebody with dementia is a really hard job. It's a totally full-time job. It's like looking after a small baby. You and I were talking about that earlier. You get no rest. Oftentimes, people who are caregivers are so intent on watching out for their loved one, making sure that he's safe, making sure that he's not into trouble, making sure that everything's going well for him, that they actually forget to care for themselves. They forget about their own needs, even to the stage of forgetting to eat, not being able to get enough sleep, not getting enough exercise, not having any social time with their friends, not having any downtime.
Yeah.
I think the real deal breakers are the sleep disturbance and the constant lack of ability to do anything else.
Right.
You know you've got your loved one has significant dementia when you can't take 20 minutes away,
No.
not paying attention to where they are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really hard.
it's so hard. And the emotional burden is exhausting. People neglect their own needs. They stop seeing their friends. They stop going out. They stop taking care of themselves. They stop getting any exercise. And it can be quite dangerous. Caregivers can burn out. And oftentimes I see them when they actually have to break physically. Their health has to break down before they start getting help. And that's
right.
a real shame.
And then it's no good for anyone. They can't care and they can't, yeah. So there was some mention of respite care.
There's a bunch that we can do. Yeah. Friends can support, we can take time off, we can make sure that we try and take time off for ourselves, and our friends can help with that. There's an adult day program, Broader Horizons, that adults can go to that gives their caregiver a number of days off, a number of hours off through the day. But there is respite care that you can arrange through your case manager so that your loved one can stay for a week or two with us at Mountain Lakes or at Jubilee Manor, so that you can have more time off. If you need to go for surgery or to visit a loved one somewhere else, you can get time off with care. It's important that we do this sooner rather than later. It's important that you talk to your case manager and notice the signs of burnout. Caregivers let it go way too far before they accept help.
Because they're feeling guilty that someone else might have to look after them, or that they're not doing everything for the person.
And we often feel like no one but us could do this. We have to do it ourselves because no one can understand our loved one as much as we do.
That's right, their needs, and So I guess for more information, people could
contact the Alzheimer's Society of BC. Absolutely go on their website and look. There are support groups in pretty much all of the significant size communities here in the Kootenay boundary. Peer support is huge. Knowing that you're not alone, understanding, hearing stories from other people that show you that yes, this is a really hard job and that many other people are also struggling. And that knowing that you're not alone, knowing that there are other people going through this with you and that you've got resources and you've got help is a huge one.
Oh, yes.
You're not alone. You need to be supported. I think what I'd really like caregivers to hear is that their loved one, deep down underneath the dementia, would really not want them to suffer. Their loved one would not want to be a burden to them to the point where their health was suffering. They would want them to take care of themselves. They would want their loved one to love themselves and care for themselves, and not let the dementia harm them.
So look for support groups, peer support groups in your community. Reach out to family and friends who can help. Look for day programs, and contact your healthcare provider if you need more information.
Ask for help. Know that you're not alone. Tell your case manager, I'm having some trouble. What supports are there out there for me?
Okay. Well, we thank you, Dr. Janz, for coming in today to talk to us about this. It was really informative, and hopefully it would give some help or some hope, at least, to some people who are watching. So thank you very much again for coming.
Very welcome, Laura.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kristy Keus. I'm a certified personal trainer, and today I'm here with you with my grandfather Don, and we're going to be doing some stretching and mobility exercises that you can do from your chair to keep you young, always. So we're going to start with stretching. We're going to move to the edge of our chair, and we're going to bring your right leg forward, and I want you to hinge at your hips, and imagine trying to kiss your toe. So you can put your hand, not on your knees, but you can put it on your thigh just above the knee. And I'm going to reach forward, hinging at the hips, pull those toes back. And you should feel that right behind the ankle, all the way up the back of the leg. Good, okay, let's switch legs. Stretching, stretching. And the closer you get to the edge of the chair, the more you'll feel this in the upper part of your back of your thigh. Good, and the more you flex your foot, again, maybe it's only a little bit to start, but the more you do this, so every day you can do this, the more you do this, the more range of motion, the more flexibility you'll have. Excellent, good. We're going to come, lift up the legs, bend the knees, and we're going to pick up your right foot, and we're going to place that right ankle on the left thigh. If that doesn't feel good, if you need to cross it here or down here, okay, whatever you can do, we're trying to stretch through that right part of your bum a little bit, okay? So I want you to bring that ankle as much as you can to the thigh, and again, I want you to sit forward. So trying to pull that collarbone forward. Now I'm pretty flexible. I can go pretty far. Good, row, 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 good. Good, hinge at those hips. Good, I'm trying to go 20 seconds on each side here. Good. One more big breath in. And switch legs carefully. Bring that other leg up. Hold on to the leg. Grab it if you need. And again, hinge forward at the hips. Good. How's that feel? Like you probably haven't done it in a while, maybe. Yeah, but all your golfing, all your activities, make sure we're stretching after. I know sometimes lots of people forget that, but we're going to work on that today. Good. All right, next one we're going to do is sit back a little bit in the chair. Good, you can put your legs down, and we're going to bring your arms forward. If you can, think about putting the back of your hands together, and I want you to try to look at your belly button and round your back as you reach your arms forward. Yeah, it's a lot to think about, I know. And then we're going to come up with your arms out wide and your thumbs up, and then point your thumbs back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, really stretch through the chest and biceps. Good. So now we're going to reverse around the back and open up the chest. So you can go as nice and slow. Crack, crack, crack. Good. Round through the back. Tuck your chin into your chest, and then open up the chest. Excellent. Round through the back one more time. Reach those fingers forward, back of your hands touching. And then open up, thumbs back, and lift, opening up the chest. Excellent. Yeah, it does. It really makes a difference. Good. If you're feeling like you need to roll the shoulders a little bit, take a second here and just get yourself set up. Now you're going to put your right hand on the side of your chair, or whatever feels good for you. Take your left arm and reach over towards me. Reach, reach, reach. And you should feel it right all the way down in towards the hip. Good. And then to the other side. Reach that right arm over, 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 like someone's pulling those fingertips away. And over to the other side. I think that was my favorite noise growing up, because there's my Donald Duck impressions here. Good. Other side. Reach, reach, reach. I'm so blessed to have such a wonderful, fun grandpa that I got to grow up with. So I hope you all are lucky enough to have the same. Good, and someone willing to do this with me. Good, excellent. Good. I know family is the hardest group of people for fitness instructors to work on, so I'm very grateful. Good, all right, the next one here, we're gonna take right arm across your chest. I want you to bend your elbow, so like you're patting yourself on the back, and then use your left hand to just give it a little bit of a push, and I want you to tilt your right ear towards your right shoulder. I know, lots to think about. Good, still sitting up nice and tall. Pat yourself on the back for doing some exercises. Good, so you're stretching through the back of your shoulder, through the triceps, and then through that big muscle in your neck. And then just big deep breath in and out. Good, let's switch sides. Let's bring your left arm out in front, bend at the elbow, and try to pat yourself on the back. Use your right hand and push that elbow in. Good, yeah, and then tilt your left ear towards the left shoulder. Excellent. Awesome job. Keep stretching here. Big deep breath in through your nose and out. Excellent. All right, one more stretch here. We're going to actually do, again, keeping your mind sharp, we're going to look towards me, Grandpa. Okay, good. Stretching through the neck. Now look away from me the other way. Good. Now this time when you look towards me, I want your whole body, your whole upper body to come towards me. Both hands reaching here. Oh, feel that stretch through your spine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good. And then the other way. Good. Now keep bring your body back to center, and then look just with your neck. Yeah, one way, and then the other way. Good. And now turn your whole body. Reach your whole body to the side, and then other way. It's going to give you some more mobility for your golf swing. Good, now just the neck. Look over to the side, sitting up nice and tall. And other way, stretching through the neck. Now one more time for each side. Full body, reach with your full body, both hands over. Reach, reach, reach. And other side. Reach, 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 reach. Good, and then back to the center. Let's take a big deep breath. Reach your arms up. And exhale. Excellent workout. Grandpa, high five. Good job, good job. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, my name is Kristy. This is my grandpa, Don. You can follow me. My website is myfitlifenow.com. Great working out with you. Have a great rest of your day.
it's Laura. We're at the Nelson and District Seniors Coordinating Society. I'm delighted today to have Wendy Lacroix with us. She's a certified retirement coach and professional counselor. She's been doing the retirement coaching for how long now?
Well, just a year. It's a fairly new business.
Okay, and
Getting a lot of really good responses from people. People are saying that, gee, it's new. What's it all about?
yeah, well, I was just going to ask you, what is a retirement coach?
Well, retirement coach. Many people think that they can do it on their own. You know, they retire and the next day they're having difficulties with their life or their planning, but a retirement coach helps you plan and assess what you want to do in your retirement. And many people, they think, okay, well, I'm going to travel for a couple of years, and then maybe they want to keep working part-time, which that's an option for many people. So they want to go 3 days a week, and the other 2 days they want to play or travel, whatever. Yeah. So the nice thing is with this type of program or workshop, it helps you to create a vision as to what you want in retirement, and where you want to go, what you want to do, and there's a lot involved. There's a lot of factors involved with retirement. Take, for example, your partner, your partner's health. You know, where you're going to be living or what you're going to be doing when you retire has a big influence on where you retire and what you're going to do in retirement.
What are the trends these days?
The trends right now are that people are living longer. You know, they have 30 years to plan for. So that 30 years, they actually have the time to take the time and decide where they want to live. They want to stay in the same community. To make a choice of moving due to health reasons or downsizing, or maybe a lot of people are retiring earlier now, just so that they can enjoy their life more. Right. You know, so it just depends. Definitely, there's a trend that people are living a lot longer.
Okay. What do you think, in your experience, has made a successful retirement?
Well, people have the freedom to choose, so everyone's very individual. I would, you know, there's 10 different tips and a lot to talk about in a short period of time. But I think you need to decide, you know, a couple of years before you retire what you want to do. Do you want to work part-time or you want to work full-time right up to the end? You are responsible for filling in your day. So if you go right from full-time work right to no work, realize that your network at work is going to be gone.
Right.
So a lot of people have a problem with that, just the identity crisis. They can sometimes go into depression or have anxiety about retiring. And that's why many people leave it, you know, a little bit longer. So I would say one of the biggest things is plan ahead. Create a vision about what you want to retirement.
How it wants to look, yeah.
What do you want it to look like? Do you want to sail around the world? Yeah. Do you want to travel for a couple of years, or do you want to move to another center? Because that's it's one of those things that you need to plan for. So maybe like a to-do list. You know, many people say, "Oh, when I retire, I have many things to do on my to-do list to fix up my house, my cottage." Right. But that doesn't last for long. You can only do that for so long.
Right. What are some of the other tips besides planning your day that you could talk about?
Well, I mean, we take a look at, you know, what does your spouse want or your partner want with you? Are they retiring at the same time as you? Or maybe they retired before you did. And so that can be a difficult situation too, because someone who's been retired a few years already has a pattern already set up in the house as to, you know, where they're going, what they're doing. Many people in Nelson are into pickleball. Right. That's a big thing in Nelson now. That's growing in popularity, and people are a lot more healthy now. You see people living longer, as we said,
more active.
But they're more active. So they're planning trips and tours and hiking trips and things like that, and dancing as part of their retirement. Right. So, and that's good, because I think it's a personal thing. Everyone's personal, but again, the message here that I want to stress is the more planning ahead of time and the writing down of your vision and what you want to do is probably more
making it happen from the vision list.
That's right, and it changes, because from the time if you retire when you're 60, 65, it's going to change in 5 years when you're 70. Right. And then again 70 to 75, one of the partners might have a health issue.
Right.
And when you travel and have health issues, that's a whole different mix. You know?
For those seniors that aren't so active, what are some other things that they could be involved in to fill up their days?
Well, many people are in the LIR series up at Selkirk College.
What is LIR?
The Learning in Retirement program. And that's very popular. They're way over 300 members now. There's everything from drawing to writing your memoirs to
well, they have lots of talks.
Lots of talks on travel, activities. So if you're not a real active person.
And then there's charitable things too.
Okay, so there's another thing, is that many people want to give back to the community in some way. And there's a lot of opportunities in volunteering now. The Rotary Club takes volunteers, the hospital takes volunteers. You could be helping out driving people to medical appointments, take for example.
We always are looking here.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't talk about is passion careers. Many people, they retire from their regular job, but they go into passion careers. Okay. So they may have loved dogs for all their life and have a dog themselves, but all of a sudden it's like, now I can do dog training, I can groom dogs, I can make it my passion. So many people, it's like a second career, and that occupies their time for the next few years. Many men take up carpentry or mechanics or their passions.
Building or something like
building,
that.
reconstruction or renovations or something like that.
Well, those are all really good tips for making positive planning and choices, but what does it look like if you didn't plan well?
Well, if you didn't plan well, some of the downfalls mainly is we're then looking into a grieving process. Many people grieve not being with the same people that they worked with for many years. So that's sort of, it can lead to a little bit of depression and anxiety, but it's a matter of really just getting back in the groove again and making new friends and getting yourself out there to social meetings and seeing what sort of areas that they'd like to be in. That's why, sometimes it's good to talk with a counselor about what you're doing and help just plan and move out of that quickly. Some people are more vulnerable than others. The identity of you is with the job that you've been with so many years, and so that needs to be recreated and sourced out, really.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Wendy, very much, and we're going to look forward to some more good tips, and I think
some more
the next one is
coming up.
What was it? The next one that you'd like to?
Well, we're going to talk about downsizing and decluttering your home.
And those are two different things.
There's two different things. The first step is decluttering, and starting off with the small things.
And downsizing is?
Downsizing is more about moving out of your home.
Getting ready to sell, or?
Getting ready to sell, staging your home, and moving into a possible apartment or a condo or
facility of some kind.
Some facility, some kind of a care facility.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to hearing more about that, and we really appreciate you taking the time for
thank you very much for having me today.